none other. You're welcome. We'll be checking some learned friends of ours that
Amen. The Public Secretary of the PDP.
Welcome to Crystal Beam TV once more. Your favorite station where we illuminate the truth. You know, we say it the way it is. You know, without binding whose ox is God. In this era of fake news, half truths, we have decided to stand out to give it to you in an unadulterated way. Now, today I'm going to feature someone who's been working with me behind the scene, and of course, very many of you know him even in River State, and then through the Citizens Quest for Truth initiative, he was also on some national television programs, also talking about leadership. His name is Mr. Innocent Inye, or popularly known as the Crackcommander. Well, he cracks every issue, every topical issue in politics. He does handle that. We're going to be looking at something, you know, it's a season of alignments and realignments, season of coalition in the polity. The march towards 2027 is already on in earnest, whether you like it or not. Less than 2 years after the inauguration of a new president, a new government, people have already started meeting and then plotting on how to take over. Now, we don't have a problem with that. The coalition is a welcome development. At least it has proved naysayers wrong who say that we are marching to a one-party state. So, welcome on board ADC, a new and improved ADC maybe. Well, some persons say there's no difference because it's still the same class of people who have been in government, who have been in power. Some of them less than 2 years or just about 2 years ago, they were in government, and then they are now, you know, gathering and assembling to see how they can change things for our nation. Well, some of us are of the view that anyone who has anything to bring on board should bring it on board right now, because we can't afford to wait even for a next election for us to get things right. The nation is actually bleeding. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to the best of his capacity and knowledge and ability, he is also trying to bring in some reforms he believes that could also turn things around. But Nigerians are impatient. They are expectant, they are waiting, and they can't continue to wait. They want it now. So, but we're going to look at something in the polity. Recently, okay, just yesterday, we also saw another addition to the political group or family of the Minister of FCT, Chief Barrister Ezebungonye Wike. We're talking reverse politics now anyway, because that's why we have Mr. Innocent on stage today. He's going to be telling us what's going on. Of course, this is not the first time we're seeing people, you know, move to go and visit Wike. Recently, we saw Julius Abure of Labour Party going to visit Wike. We've seen others in the past who moved from either side of the political group they belong to the ministers group. Well, we don't even know what has informed that. Some persons describe it as stomach infrastructure. They say people are hungry. Well, is there anybody in Nigeria who is not hungry now? Even the former minister, the super minister of Ministry of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, has also said he is hungry. And some persons said, no, you can't be hungry. You've been in government all your life after school. You've been in power, so you can't say you're hungry. Well, it's only a hungry man who can actually tell the story. You can't speak for him. So, some persons describe this alignment and realignment as being an offshoot of hunger. Some say they want to remain in power, they want to remain relevant, so they don't want to be in opposition. And in any case, if there's no opposition, how can the government of the day do well? I mean, we need a viable opposition to checkmate even the excesses of government and put them in the right perspective. Well, today we welcome Mr. Innocent to the program. Can you say hi to our viewers on Crystal Beam TV, CBTV?
Thank you very much, Christy. It's my pleasure being here once again. It's something we like doing, to speak for development, criticize government as the case may be, and set a path as a youth that is expecting the betterment of this country.
Mm.
Thank you very much. I hope and wish that my appearance here today will actually set the narrative for the youth of my generation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we are going to be doing this because it's a new series, a new program on our station. We call it the Political Talk with Christy. You know, we people from the Niger Delta, we don't like to speak straight English. Not that we don't know how to speak, but we prefer to speak in our local pidgin English. So that's where we derive that name, Political Talk. You know, it's something that you need. And then, of course, recently people now describe Talk as cho. It's a cho, no working. But here it has to work because the people in power need to listen to us. They need to also hear us speak. And then maybe, who knows, our voice could count and change the way governance is being done in Nigeria. Now, Mr. Innocent, just recently, I think it was just 24 hours ago, we saw the former Minister of Environment, one of the strongest allies of Rotimi Chibike Amaechi, for I think as far back as when he was the Speaker of Rivers State, Mr. Udi had provided leadership in his local government, Abua Odua local government, when Amaechi's contemporary late Oyagri, left the stage, you know, when we lost him. And then it was, I think, Udi, having worked with Oyagri, had to step in. And then he's been there. And he's been like the leader holding forth in Abo Odua. Now we see Udi, after serving for a few months under President Buhari's second tenure as Minister for Environment. Of course, we know it was Amaechi who nominated him into that position. He is now seen visiting Wike, and of course what that means is that he's going to probably be working with Wike. He has not said he has left the APC, probably the APC's alliance with the PDP in the state. So what do you think informed that? And then how do you think that this will further, you know, affect Amaechi's political structure?
Well, this is actually a dicey one because Mr. Udi, long after he was removed as minister, when the government changed, actually, he actually went comatose, as the case may be. Not much was heard about him, and then now he has sprung up again. Yes, for some of them who were allies, friends, and political associates of Chibike Amaechi, we'll be thinking, if I am thinking for them, or like them, as the case may be, that he has actually retired politically.
Wow.
Because for somebody who ran as president of this country, for presidential to be a presidential candidate of the APC, as he then was, and then today is nowhere around the corridors of power. And then, of course, for his political structure being depleted, because some persons, for the purpose of wanting to survive, financial survivor, as the case may be, pitching tents, some with Governor Sim, some with the FCT minister. You could see that one way or the other, the family, the political family of the Amaechi is actually depleting, and this could also have affected the reason why Mr. Udi thinks that he should realign with the FCT minister so as to be able to remain afloat politically. Of course, as it is in the Wike family, the leader of Abu Adwa cannot be Udi. It is Mr. Oyagri, the former
Henry
Ogiri, rather.
Yeah.
The former ED.
Yeah, I think he's in the National Population Commission representing Rivers. Yeah.
So you can see that meeting was necessitated or facilitated by Udi. You could see in that picture. You see
by Udi or Ogiri.
Ogiri, rather.
Okay.
You see Ogiri in that picture. So you see that Ogiri may have, you know,
been instrumental
to his visiting Wike. Well, of course, politics is dynamic.
Yeah.
They could be, if one leader leaves, another
emerges.
Will emerge. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that the Amaechi political family will also be doing one or two things to see that they
can fill up
somebody to fill up, because it's also not possible that Udi was working alone. He could also may have other persons he worked with during his time with
as the leader
in Abuja. So that is my take on it.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful one. But I also think that Udi, having been considered as the strong man of Abua Odua politics after Oyagiri, yeah, definitely there'll be some other persons who may have worked with him, but we don't know their strength, their political strength, their popularity, and their ability to also deliver in Abua Odua. So now you have an Udi now going to work with Oyagiri, and don't you think that that has also made the Wike group, you know, more fortified, more strengthened, you know? Well, like you said, some persons may have worked with Udi too, and it's also possible that they have also understudied his style. So it's easy for them to, you know, checkmate him even while he's on the other side. But you made a point here. You said this movement and some others have also depleted Amaechi's political structure, you know, his presence and his strength in most of the LGAs. Now that he is going to, he's in ADC, and he happens to be the South-South leader of ADC, and maybe also has the ambition to contest the election if the party nominates him, whether as a candidate or a running mate, I don't know. So do you think that he still has what it takes to get the votes, majority of the votes in Rivers, assuming he emerges as a candidate? Because it's also crucial, even though it's not compulsory that you must win your state for you to win.
Okay, let me address something with respect to Udi living with what it takes to win elections in Abuja.
Yeah.
I will cite two examples. The former commander of the IGP monitoring,
Yeah.
is that the ASP Kiari.
Yeah.
He was a very fantastic policeman
Okay.
until the issues he had with the Nigerian government.
Or he was believed to be a fantastic policeman.
To be a fantastic
Yes,
policeman.
yes.
But was Kiari able to do that without a team?
A team.
I remember when there was an issue in Anambra State or thereabout, so in the east.
Yeah.
For purpose of not
Yes.
myself.
Yeah.
An issue in the east. For Abba Kiari to move to the east, he requested he move with his team.
Okay.
That is his team. Abba Kiari has left that position.
Okay.
Those men
Are still there.
That is one. The second instance will be late Inspector Bako.
Okay.
When he moved into the Ogoni Axis of Rivers State,
Yeah.
there was not much. There was not much he could do until he raised a team. When he was moved from what's it called, Ogoni to Ahoda,
Yeah.
rumors have it that he was not with his team
Okay.
on the attack that actually killed him. Now, the general reason for this analysis is this: it is possible that Udi won elections because he had a team.
Okay.
Nobody can succeed.
No tree makes a forest.
No tree makes a forest.
Yeah.
You know what we are doing here today. We cannot succeed here if we don't have a team that works from behind.
Okay.
So Udi has to do much more better
than what
he thinks, or what the onlookers are also thinking of him. If he's not able to poach those people he used
and bring them, they will undermine him. And weaken him.
And it will be a very serious one.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, with respect to Amaechi wanting to sprout again, for 2027 election, this is an opportunity for him to look deeper.
Good.
An opportunity for him to look deeper.
Yeah.
It is not about the name. He should be able to look for those persons that can do the job. Leave the big names.
Okay.
Because these persons may, in quotes, have altered his plans yesterday, that may have caused the serial loss he had.
Okay.
There could be some other persons within his team that have what it takes. We hear people saying, I brought you up from the gutter and made you you are today. It is as possible as it is. Our president today made so many persons.
That's
we
right.
have seen them as governors, both past and
even
present. Vice president, and of course we know what these persons bring to the table.
That's right.
When they have been appointed or nominated as or
experience counts.
As the case may be. So it's a message that he needs rather to go back, sit down. It's not about what people tell him.
Okay.
Even if, of course, you have advisors, when they come to tell you some of these things, sit back and analyze, ask for questions about these people. Do your private investigation to actually know that, to know the weaknesses and the strength of these people. Thank God, though yesterday INEC has warned politicians after the Leonard Silk, Femi Falana advised them. I advised INEC to actually stop politicians from early campaign.
Yeah.
And INEC released a statement and all that. But it is actually early for anybody
to even begin
who wants to win elections or make impact. Start now to actually, galvanize his support base and look for the right people.
So you don't need to rush to start making statements. This is time to work in-house, underground, and then build your structure, rebuild and rebrand. Maybe take out some and then replace them.
He must step on toes.
Yeah.
He must step on toes.
I think that is actually the major challenge here. His inability to actually take decisions, even if they are your friends. You must separate friendship from business, because politics is business, governance is business. And then also reward those who have done well and punish those.
That's also, you've come to something.
Yes.
Now, Rotimi Amaechi should be able to know that politics is business and treat it as business.
Just like football, like entertainment and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, he should also try and improve his reward system.
Okay.
His reward system.
Yeah.
Yes. They say he who is down fears no fall. Some of his supporters have been down.
Yeah.
And if he also wants to hear them, let him put his ears down, and he will understand that most of the decisions that we are taking and most of the failures we are deliberate because people intentionally didn't want to make it work.
Yeah.
And he felt that he abandoned them. Now, his return to Rivers State. To actually flag off or reduce
the ADC,
to
structure.
Looking at all the clips, that emanated from the airport.
Yeah.
As an investigative journalist, I asked questions. What you saw there was not proper mobilization.
What do you mean by proper mobilization?
Yes. No politician will tell you that
they
doesn't mobilize.
Okay.
Anybody that tells you that,
like giving up money.
The person is not being truthful.
Okay.
What you saw there is just a mobilization of three persons per ward.
Wow.
Now, imagine that there was money and they were asked to mobilize both people that truly are for him and those that are,
at least let them be able to get to the airport, because they may not have the means to also leave their different local governments. For instance, those in Bonny, Opobo, and all those coastal.
Okay. That if there was proper mobilization and maybe increase of the number per ward, as the case may be, we would have had more than enough
people to show. That's
right.
That
is to say, even as it is, he still has.
Or maybe they actually did and the people were not willing. Because you said something. If he left them for some time, and then very many of them, just like he said, are also hungry. And so people who are hungry and they are not sure of the next meal may not also want to continue to do the same thing over and over again, because the persons he may have sent to bring them could be the same people that left them in the dark before now.
Exactly. That's what I said. I said, based on the answers I got, questions asked, it was just a matter of 3 persons per word. Now, where am I getting to? Irrespective of the number of years you left office and have not been in touch with the base, you still have people.
Foot soldiers.
It rained that day.
Okay.
But people were still under the rain.
Okay.
Now, what it means is that these people need some form of succor. They need some form of direction. They need some form of reward when the need
arises.
Not after bringing them out under the rain, scorching sun and all that, and then in the end, when the pear is ripe, those that didn't have anything to do will now benefit.
Yeah, but that also takes me to the fact that he was the super minister for transportation under Buhari, and he was one of the closest to the former president, who is now late. And I think under Ministry of Transportation, there were so many agencies. We had NIWA, we had Shippers Council, we had Maritime School Oron, we had NIMASA, we had MPA, we had the other transport technologies, I think somewhere in Zaria, and quite a number of, and then of course the railway. Let me not forget that. Don't forget, aviation was under him before it was taken away, given to Buhari's cousin, Hadis Sirika. So I think that he really had the opportunity to have empowered people. So why is it that we didn't see enough of Rivers people, occupying key positions, just like what we are seeing today? Wike has the FCT ministry. They say it's a state now, but I know that he doesn't have immunity as a state. There are some other things that qualify it to be a state, but he's been able to influence a lot of things for his supporters, for Rivers people, trying to bring them to be at par with people from other states, other parts of the country. He's been able to influence over 40 appointments, and then I understand that several of them also have these jobs, running jobs, contracts here and there, those who are qualified. And then don't forget, recently, we also saw a list of Rivers people, very many of them who ordinarily wouldn't have been able to afford to buy a piece of land in Abuja. You know what it means. But today, some of them are landowners in highbrow places like Guzape and the rest of them. This is something that we didn't see much of it happen during Amaechi's time, despite the fact that I can say that Buhari gave him the free hand to also operate. So why was this so? The persons that were appointed, Amaechi gave those appointments, were they not able to carry people along? Was it that he couldn't also call the shots for the people, give them a mandate that, look, once you get there, this is what you need to do? Don't forget, a place like NDDC was under his control for several years. He was single-handedly bringing a whole board for the NDDC. So why is it that, it's strange to hear or find out that his supporters and those who were following him all these years, all this while, are hungry today and they are not eager to come out? Please, can you just address this?
Okay, thank you very much. I say, if you say Amaechi is a detribalized Nigerian,
okay,
I can agree with you. But you see, in this scenario, this is where Wike is different from Amaechi. While Amaechi had the opportunities, he didn't centralize the nominations of the headship of these places to his people. When I mean his people, Rivers people. He tried to spread, even at that.
Maybe because of his ambition to be president.
Yes, even at that.
So he wanted to spread it. But of course, charity begins at home. You must have a structure. But, first, hold it tight before.
Even at that, no instruction was given to those persons.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
No instruction was given to them.
Okay.
It's also not proper to say Amaechi didn't also empower his people.
Okay.
We have people Amaechi empowered in various agencies.
Okay.
It's just 1 or 2, 3 empowerments or nominations, not empowerment rather now, nominations of members of certain boards, chief executive and all that, director generals and all that. In 1 or 2, 3 boards Amaechi, made, may have surpassed the appointments Wike made today.
Oh, really?
Based on the ministry.
Okay. The agencies. The size. Yes. And then the budget.
The budget.
Okay.
But the question is, why did you have that? Why did we have such persons heading such agencies and parastatals, and it didn't trickle down?
Wow.
It is as a result of Amaechi not being
intentional
and decisive.
Okay.
For Christ's sake, UK cannot give you an appointment
and not
from what we hear.
Okay.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
From what we are hearing and not give you direction. Okay. Take for example, NDDC.
Okay.
The appointment of Chief Tony Okocha
as
Rivers Rep.
Yeah.
We heard the instruction was given to him to nominate or accommodate a number of persons and make sure that at the end of every month
they get something.
Get to them.
Okay.
I am sure that would have also happened in other
agencies and other
yes, that is one. Secondly, the people that worked with Amaechi as his friends and allies were very wicked to him.
Wow. That's wicked, a strong word.
Yes, very wicked. I say it without missing words. Wicked in the sense that people got appointments. There are some appointments that are not very loud.
Yes. But there's something there. But they are waiting.
But they are waiting. Got disappointments and kept mute.
And hid
it. You will not hear anything.
Even the contracts.
We well by virtue of the kind of journalism we practice, we've gotten information.
Okay.
But some of this information will stomach it for better days.
Yeah.
So this was the problem Amaechi had, and if it continues again, then this time around the defeats will be colossal.
Wow, this is Political Talk on the Crystal Beam TV, and then we've had Mr. Inye Okpukpo, Innocent Okpukpo. You guys know him as Crackcommander. He is also a journalist. He's been part of the team here, and then he's been dealing with the issues as they happen in Rivers State. We're still talking about the movement of people from Amaechi to Wike. It has not stopped. It's still ongoing. We thought that with the ADC coming on board and with Amaechi's position as the South leader and probably a possible presidential candidate, that the people, these defections will cease. But it's not ceasing anytime soon. And then we've been doing justice to that. I want to tell you something. More is coming. Don't go away, because we'll be right back. So we are back on Crystal Beam TV with your favorite program, Political Talk with Christy. And then we are having in our studio Mr. Innocent Inye Okpukpo, known as Crackcommander. He's been cracking this topic and doing justice to it. And then what are we talking about? We're talking about the movement of Jah people, as they say. But the songwriter said, but we are talking of Amaechi's people, and then seeing that they're still influx of most of the people who were seen yesterday as Amaechi's allies and men moving to Wike's camp. We don't know. And he's telling us what could be responsible and what should be done. So we are going to be looking at the concluding part of this talk show right now. And he's still going to open our eyes. And maybe for Amaechi, if he listens, if he watches the program, and I believe he will, and then for also those who still believe in him and his leadership and something could come, maybe there will be some takeaways that will guide them, into how they could win, because it's been serial losses back to back since 2015, and of course that's not good for any political leader. Well, some person said Buhari actually also lost 3 times, and on the 4th occasion he won. But don't forget that Abuja is not Lagos. So let's go. Mr. Innocent, thank you. And it's good to having you here again. And then we still want to talk about these issues and what needs to be done, because we are looking at 2027 coming. While Wike is busy harvesting those who are leaving, some people say those ones are old hands. They couldn't even make much impact while they were in APC under Amaechi. I mean, APC couldn't win any election from 2015 to 2019, 2023. So what actually are they coming to do under Wike? So do you think it's even really necessary for Wike to receive these people, or is it for at least the media hype and all that? Or is it that, of course, people say in numbers lie the strength, of any group? So what do you think?
Well, if I have to advise the FCT minister, he has to be careful.
Okay.
Careful in the sense that these are the same Buccaneers that crashed Amaechi's project.
Okay.
Name them.
You don't want to go into nations.
As much as you see them around him,
okay,
they are cheerleaders. Their interest is just to come cheer, cheer the whoever their new prospect is, collect and dance. These people may not be able to help him, as per help in quotes. For photo obsessed,
okay,
it will affect some supporters who are not aware
psychologically and otherwise. Yes,
but that these people will have anything different to do. I'm sure that Wike knows them too well. He's
been around for a long time.
He's been around he knew them all the way from chairman. He was chairman, chief of staff, and all that when the was good. So he knows them too well and their abilities. So I'm not sure he will be deceived by their antics.
Okay.
They have little or nothing to offer. In short, if if while they were still with the Amaechi political family, informations went around, complaints went around. Just that Amaechi is just too liberal to a fault that he couldn't discipline them.
But that's not also a good quality of
exactly.
a leader.
It
a leader, yeah. You need to be firm.
That's what I said before.
Yes.
That's what I said before. That is the difference between Amaechi
and Wike. Okay.
You know, if it means in the end, as it goes that he must take oaths to take it, make things happen. If there's anything like that, it should happen. If Amaechi wants to succeed this time, for crying out loud, he must be firm. He must wield the hammer when the need arises. Don't just bring somebody because you hear that the father is a minister, the sister is a former president. That's not an issue. It is just by name. Okay. What can you do? What can you offer? What can you offer?
Well, thank you very much. I think you said it. You hit the nail on the head right there. Every leader, every politician who wants to make impact, who wants result, must have a means of checks and balances. You must also have people tell you the truth and speak truth to power without anything. Of course, we know you as one person who also stands for the truth. It doesn't matter what anybody feels, you always want to say it the way it is. Well, not to undermine anybody, those who are coming may also see things differently now because they are going to be working under a different kind of leadership. A man who does not tolerate, he doesn't take no for an answer, he puts his hand on the plow and does not look back. That's Wike, like you said, is a difference between Wike and Amaechi. And don't forget that even when they were all together, Wike in 2007 was the one who actually galvanized the group called the Believers, you know, who helped to fight for Amaechi's legal battle in court against Celestine Omeiya. While he was in Ghana, Wike was on ground in Nigeria and was able to put together the team. Of course, at that point, he knew those who could deliver and he worked closely with those ones. And then, of course, like you said, there will always be cheerleaders because in every game, every football or every sporting game, you must have the actors and you have the spectators. So, but whatever it is, like you said, is good for the photo ops, and it's going to also have a lot of psychological, you know, way down on those who are remaining, the remnants, to ask, are we really on getting it right? And don't forget, each leader that goes represents over not maybe 500 or 1,000 other followers. So as they move with their followers. On rare cases, we do see a leader move and leave his followers, because what actually makes you a leader is the number of people. And maybe that's why Wike had to fight hard to get back the structure when Governor Fubara struck and tried to take away the structure. And he was everywhere talking about structure. You can't be relevant without the structure. You can't also be a national politician without also being a state politician. You must have something going for you. So you were going to say something, you know, earlier. You said you wanted to advise on the way to go, and then also, what do you think? Is there any hope for the ADC in Rivers State as presently concerned? Not minding the fact that even though there was this division in the PDP then between Wike and Sim, but Wike lately has been able to bring the two parties together to a large extent. Not every member of APC, but all the ones who believe in the renewed hope agenda under the leadership of Tony Okocha, and then working closely with the PDP led by Aaron Chukwuemeka. Now, you see the governor is coming back once the state of emergency is relaxed, and the governor said he has settled with Wike, which means that majority of those who were with him, I'm not saying all, because some may not want to go for their own personal reasons, and he may also not want to carry along some of them. So, but you can see that he's going to add more to the numbers of the structure that Wike already has. So where does that place the ADC group? Of course, Amaechi is not alone in ADC. We have the likes of Celestine Omeiya, we have the likes of Abie Sekibo, we have the likes of Austin Opara, Uche Secondus. They are known names in the past. They have been strong men. But like you are saying, those names may just be there because they are former this and that. So, but what is the fate of the ADC as it is now?
Well, it's very important note that this is the best time for ADC rather, to succeed.
Okay.
There are lots of low hanging fruits for them to pluck.
Like?
Now, the politics in Rivers State is taking a new dimension. I've never seen this kind of politics before. I was watching one journalist who said in the last election, people went in as PDP and came out as APC. Not as it were. But that's on the other hand. Now, from what has happened last week, Saturday,
At the primaries.
For
the local government election, yeah.
There are bad bloods.
Okay.
On 3 sides. On the side of the governor, there is very serious bad blood. On the side of the chairman of APC, Tony Okocha, there is bad blood. Even within the camp of the FCT minister, there is bad blood. Now, let me start from that of the FCT minister.
Okay.
Some persons, having seen what happened during the tenure of the immediate past local government chairman, that were disbanded by
the Supreme Court,
expected that there should have been a change to bring in young minds who also have not tested power before. In some LGs, there's a recycling
of old
people. And those that have been very vocal in time past have remained silent.
Yeah, but sorry to cut you short, but you spoke about reward system. You said it's also good for Amaechi and any leader to reward those. And I think that from what we gather, there was this discussion, these guys fought really hard, during the period of that legal battle between Wike and the group and SIM. And they stood by him and they stood their ground, particularly the assembly members. And we understand they had the right of first refusal to either run or produce a candidate. And then again, those who had run only for one tenure, they also were given that right. So is that also not part of the reward system? Are you going to now sacrifice them because you want to change? Are they old men? I don't even think I don't see much of the old men there.
We need to put this thing on a balance.
Okay.
We need to put it on a balance. In that aspect,
the
FCT minister should be able to continue to find a way to close ranks.
Okay.
With this small.
No, you were talking about the advantage it's going to have. The ADC is going to have.
I'm going there. So,
okay.
There will be 1 or 2 fallouts from people that are angry on this aspect. This side. That is for that. Come to that of Tony Okocha. He's the worst hit.
How?
That in the 22 local governments, as chairman of APC, I cannot identify one person from his party originally. Originally from
who
his
emerged?
Party, who emerged as chairman.
Okay.
I've not even seen anybody amongst those his supporters who are shouting as youths that had a slot for councillorship.
Okay.
There is bad blood there.
Okay.
The worst hit is governor.
Okay.
A situation whereby his people are having, first of all, the dissolution of his political structure, the simplified youth movement, and now nobody also is emerging either as councillor or as chairman. So you see, from these three angles,
yes,
you have 1 or 2, 3, grievances there as an opportunity for the ADC
to move in
and see how to galvanize people. The policies that have been introduced in this country in recent time is the worst that has happened ever, where you can be in one party
and support
the other party. It's a dangerous trend, because as it is, even like take for example the president's team, it's not possible for him to know who is for him or who is against him, because they could come in front and begin to say I'm for you, behind they are doing something, because it is something that has been
entrenched.
So my advice is that on both ends, people have to be more tactful. Your decision making you have to be top notch. Every information now is important. Do not throw away any information you get. Once you get any information, take it, analyze it, sieve it, get what is truth or reality, and then you can do away with the rest. But for you to sit down at the comfort of your house, maybe because it is favoring today and say it is well, I can promise you that it's not.
Yeah, I think that, well, we're still on the political talk on your favorite show, Crystal Beam TV. Innocent Obubo has, been talking about the issues in Rivers politics, where we are going, where we are coming from, and what is expected. Well, I agree with you, to a very large extent, that there are hanging fruits that Amaechi's ADC can actually capitalize on. But don't you think that even Amaechi's coming to Rivers State should have been the whole team come? And maybe that would have given it a bigger picture, and then that would have also given them a more formidable approach to, getting to access to this person. Because you see, when people want to leave, they first of all ask themselves, if I live where I am, so what am I going there to gain? Maybe is it just to get the ticket to contest for the sake of contesting, and maybe get election money? Because we hear that some of them have said, yes, even though we are not sure that ADC will make impact, but let us remain here, because definitely we'll be leaders here and money will be disbursed to us for election purposes and all that.
The danger of what we are facing now.
Yeah, okay.
Now, for the question you've asked, if you observe, even up till yesterday, there's still been issues, around the ADC, the proper takeover of the coalition,
Yeah.
the ADC. So I think that would have been one of the reasons why he didn't come with the retinue of those aggrieved leaders, as it were, when he came in. And again, not until the caretaker or the acting spokesman of the ADC spoke, I listened to him on channels, that the decision to run or to take over ADC, as it case may be, was not done overnight. They've been speaking with the leadership in the past 18 months.
Yeah.
So, our president said during his campaign that politics is political. We don't know the talks, conversations that have been going on behind whoever. Anything you see now will be as a result of information and conversation agreements that have been reached
before now,
some days or weeks or months back. So the politics
is evolving. It's a developing story.
In the coming days, we'll see different things, different surprises from. See, this politics in Nigeria is full of
anything can
happen.
Anything can
happen. By you could just open your phone now. The next minute you hear one news and you'll be shocked.
Okay, so wow, it has been a good one on the show Political Talk with Christy, and then of course, like I said, we had Innocent Obubo doing justice to the topic, and it's like we don't even have to stop. We should continue. Maybe we'll have to invite you once again. He's in-house analyst, so he can do more justice to some of these issues. We're not going to focus only on Rivers State. We're going to be looking at issues happening in Kaduna, Borno, and the rest of the states where we have some of these challenges, and some of these the coalition leaders come from. States like Benue, where the national chairman or the Protein national chairman is from, and the rest of other states, to see what their strategy is to, take over. Some say that they were able to do that in 2015 against Goodluck Jonathan, and they could repeat the same feat. But you see, those who argue say the coalition in 2014 that led to the ouster of Jonathan in 2015 was a different a scenario, different environment, different ball game to what we have now. This is like people that have been in government previously coming together. Then in 2014, we had the likes of Ahmed Tinubu, and who had never been at the center, had never been in government at the federal, and then we had Buhari, we also had a few others. So they say it's different, but we are waiting to see. It's a developing story. We'll keep bringing you updates as they happen. Don't go away. Join us every day for your favorite show, Political Talk with Christy. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
From this secretary